Hello students, myself Dr. Shantanu Ganguly, the Chief Librarian of All India Institute of Medical Sciences. Today, I'm going to discuss a very interesting area called media as sources of information. How do we define media? Media refers to the mass media, communications such as newspapers, magazines, radio, television, recordings of audiovisual aids like CD, DVD, etc., which are vital sources of information of mass communication. The impact of media has totally transformed human life in modern societies. They are not just the carriers of information and knowledge per se, but also the means by which they have been communicated are the main cause of the sea changes in the society, which is heading towards a knowledge society. Medium is the message. According to Marshall, who coined the medium is the message, today every human intellectual output can be carried through a complex, integrated, intermixed and interactive system, resulting in the integration of the data, text, image, voice by the application of advances in ICT that are the root cause of societal changes. This message implies that the carrier of communication, whether human, voice, image or text, influences the message, the sender, the audience. Mass media, a definition. It is defined as the institutions of public communication that have as their physical channel of transmission a mass medium. Television, radio, motion pictures, newspapers, books, music and recordings. It is these institutions and organizations that use print and electronic devices to produce the contents for the use of the audiences. The characteristics of the mass media, if you look at it, when mass media becomes the channels in mass communication, they bring three characteristics to the process, namely a complex technology becomes involved. The velocity of the process increases in order to reach a huge audience. The amplitude increases because the potential to be read, heard or viewed is very powerful. This was a concept was given by Hibbert in 1988. What is mass communication? Mass communication is the process whereby mass-produced messages are transmitted to large, anonymous and heterogeneous audiences. The word mass refers to the people in a large number. The large number usually indicates or implies mostly to the lower strata of society who are unlettered or ignorant in many ways. Mass includes every section of the society, irrespective of their status of knowledge and perceptions. Apart from laypersons, they include a wide audience of scholars, professionals, scientists, artists, musicians. In fact, every group, young and old, is a part of it. Use of mass media. Mass media generate a vast amount of information and knowledge. Apart from the volume generated, the variety, every subject of human interest, programs mirroring life of societies, reporting every natural phenomena, etc., make the generated information a virtual treasure. Mass communication appears to be giving a running commentary of human events and activities that are continuously recorded to make them invaluable sources for studying the contemporary life of a society and are worthy of preservation for historical studies too. Characteristics and the scope and functions of the mass media. It offers a current awareness service, for example, the instantaneous service like reporting of current events and activities by radio and television. Radio and televisions are fast means of communication than the print media such as newspapers. The newspaper industry is in the private sector and enjoys a considerable amount of freedom. It is regarded as the fourth estate that shapes, influences and indirectly governs the public affairs in a democratic setup, although it has no constitutional authority to control the affairs of a state. The role of mass media. Media play an important role in publicizing the cases which require a huge public attention. All media are expensive and you need huge organizations to collect, process, formulate, and disseminate information, views, entertainment to enormous, scattered, heterogeneous audiences simultaneously. Information contained in mass media has very important archival value as they are invaluable primary sources for recording contemporary history. Their functions are to inform, educate, instruct, motivate, persuade, influence, shape, entertain, and sell information to large audiences. Information dissemination by mass media and their programs is a very, very positive, effective way. They are pro-communal harmony, anti-environmental pollution, support national integration, anti-drug addiction, advocate health and care and safety, demonstrate benefits of yogic exercises for healthy life, create peace for economic prosperity, anti-terrorism and social evils, generally educative and instructive, giving helpful guidance to children and young adults, etc. As a matter of policy and principle, information dissemination and the programs of mass media conform to government regulations, code of ethics, and legal norms. The print media of mass communication comprises of newspapers, popular magazines and periodicals, trade journals, posters, leaflets, books, in particular paperbacks and other printed materials. Of these newspapers, magazines and periodicals are most extensively used. Beginning from the 50s, there has been a rapid growth of newspaper industry to withstand the challenges and fierce competition from the new electronic media, particularly radio and television. They have adopted the latest information communication technologies in their production process to speed up their productions and circulations, improve their physical get-up, and this is required to face the competition of the electronic media. Then comes your daily newspapers. Daily newspapers are the predominant ones among the print media. They have a large circulation and wide audiences. In India, newspapers are published in most of the regional languages and they also have a very, very large circulations. Like for example, take the newspapers like, Navbharat Times or Jansatta. These are written in Hindi and they have got a huge huge information dissemination takes place among the various people. And the circulation is very, very high compared to the English newspapers. Some of the top newspapers agencies publish their dailies from different cities in multiple editions to focus attention on regional news, events and activities. Let me take an example of Anandabazar Patrika. Anandabazar Patrika is a very, very famous newspaper of Kolkata because it is more a region specific, where a regional news, regional events and regional informations are provided to the different stakeholders. Sunday editions carry some weekly magazines which are extremely informative and very important, and as a part of the entertainment also one can read it and go through it. Special advertisements and other supplements are also part of the different print newspapers. There are large newspapers have their own mechanisms to get news through their own reporters from different parts of the country and also from the foreign countries. In addition to their contracts with news agencies, national and international, for the supply of the news and information. Every day, the dailies publish one or more supplements on specific topics such as education and training, economics, industry, business and trade, science and technology, sports, games, art, entertainment, music. There are also newspapers exclusively specializing in economics, sports and games, films, TV programs, music, business and trade, employment, government memorandum, and other orders. The constants are, some of the constants of the newspaper which have been identified by different researchers are, only literates can use of them. They are highly urban based, nothing much of interest to the rural areas. Prices of newspapers are not within the reach of the most economically weaker section of the society. There is a practice in India among the economic weaker sections. A literate person reads newspaper columns and before a small group of 6 to 8 persons, thus increasing the readability of number of newspapers. This practice compensates for low circulation statistics, improving the readability factor. So these are some of the constraints which are overcome with the help of that. Structure and the management of the newspaper institutions. The newspaper institutions are well structured and well managed through a complex organization and functioning. Usually the operations are divided into 4 major blocks: news and editorials, administrations, business and production. The business manager is in charge of promoting, selling and proper distribution of the newspapers so that it reaches every day morning at the desk on each and every house. The advertisements are the vital lung of all mass media, without which mass media cannot function. So there is a lot of revenue are generated. A large share of the pages of newspaper carries various types of advertisements. And most of these advertisements which you come across is basically your daily needs. The business manager is in charge of the advertisement. The administration takes care of the maintenance function as well as the finance and personnel management. The production block takes care of printing the newspaper and to maintain its physical quality. Application of modern technology. Large newspapers have been applying a computer-based printing technology for production purpose. Computer typesetting, desktop publishing software for layout and page making, introducing color and elegant presentation, transferring the set matter to sensitive metal plates, and usually these plates for printing are the modern means of production. Thus, the production speed has been achieved in a clean and spick and span office environment with much less noise, and the printing block has a very different look from the earlier methods and days of printing. Modern means of transportation and distribution have also helped in speedy circulation. Then comes your magazines and periodicals. They are very popular publications issued periodically, usually in paper cover, typically containing stories, essays, poems, etc. by many writers. They may be general, political, economic, social and other subject of public interest, or in general a subject like business and trade, sports and games, music, cinema, religion and philosophy. They can be specially oriented towards subjects of interest of women and children and men. Most often they are light reading nature, but periodicals like Economist carrying writings of serious nature which are even cited in learning periodicals. Typical examples in English are Reader's Digest, Life, Time Magazine, Fortune, which is a US publications, Economist is an England publications, India Today, Outlook is an Indian publication, which are very popular and have wide circulations. Magazines and periodicals comprise mostly of weeklies, monthlies, but also include bi-monthlies and quarterlies. Special annual editions are not uncommon. These type of publications are in very Indian languages and have regional orientation and widely read. They bring out the festival editions which may be their annual features. Many of the house journals and newsletters of institutions are also in this nature. And especially you will find that during this different types of celebration like Diwali and Dasera and all, there is a special advertisement or special booklets comes out along with those magazines and periodicals, or especially even in the new year also. These type of publications have increased phenomenally in recent decades and also have the wide circulations and various types of audiences as newspapers. They are also valuable source materials for contemporary historical writing. Radio broadcasting electronic media comprising of radio, television, satellite TV, cable TV, motion films, recordings, etc. is distinctly different from the print media as it provides news and information instantaneously. It carries information from distances and to the masses that are geographically, culturally, intellectually, and emotionally widespread from one another. It is the fastest media, much quicker than print media. Its impact on audiences is decisively more greater than print media. It is also a valuable sources of information mass media as much as the print media. The characteristics and the scope and the functions of the radio broadcasting. The radio is an oral medium. There are no visuals. It is a slightless medium. Its impact, therefore, is less than visual media, very much less than audio-visual media. Its success has to be achieved only through the voice of the announcers, newsreaders, and performers in a play, music, and sound effects. Notwithstanding the limitations, radio has been a success before the advent of the television. As sound and voice of participants in the various programs of radio broadcasting are the physical oral media, persons with the voices suitable for broadcasting are very carefully selected through audition test. Radio listeners must be aware that in the past some of the best newsreaders, announcers, anchor persons of programs and such other partisans who have excellent voice, articulation abilities and such other skills have left a lasting impressions. Television of the electronic media of mass communication. Television of the electronic media of mass communication, the most powerful and influential media having impact on the society is the television. Borrowing certain features from the earlier media of communication like the theatrical stage, the film and radio, it has amalgamated them into a new media with its own identity. For example, from stage it has borrowed movement, from the film the camera, and from the radio the microphone, integrating all this into a unique medium quite different from the other media, thoroughly telegenic, more suitably attractive to be displayed on the screen. Now we come to a very important area which is extremely important in today's context, and I'm sure all of you know this very well, that is TV channel. They are the biggest source of dissemination of information as far as media is concerned. There are hundreds of TV channels telecasting 24 hours, 7 days a week. In English language alone, there are scores of channels operating in India with sub-channels exclusively devoted to news, movies, serials, sports and games, etc. The programs of these channels are listed in the daily newspaper for viewers to make their selective choices and prepare the schedule for watching them. Besides these English channels, there are language channels. Is almost in every Indian language more than one. In fact, making it bewildering for the viewers to choose from to make their watching schedules. Apart from these types of channel distribution, there are English channels specializing in the world news like wildlife, cartoons, fashions, lifestyle, movies, sports, games, real estate, etc. Some of the popular channels of this class are NDTV, BBC, National Geographic, CNN, ESPN, Zee TV, Sony TV, and such others. Cable TV is another dimension of the TV media which advances in information communication technology. Satellites and fiber optic communications have opened up to viewers to a number of internal and external TV channels. Cable TV is operating by linking the viewers' TV sets through the cables to a common antenna. The dish antenna placed in a particular angle can cast signals from broadcasting services like Doordarshan or foreign services like Star TV, CNN, BBC, MTV, Prime Sports, etc. This broadcast can be relayed through cable to individual customers of a cable operator. Cable operators also provide what is generally called as domestic TV. They show the films and the other programs according to the demands of their customers. The customers are charged for laying the cable and also a monthly fee. The fee or the rent would depend on the cost of providing the service, the quality of the service, the number of channels they are offering and made available to the customers in such cases. TV archives, the information and the knowledge generated by TV is a veritable source of information for all kinds of contemporary writings, such as political and economic analysis, consideration of many different events and activities, trend reports in many fields. Archives of TV channels, TV networks like Doordarshan and others, minds of information source for contemporary and historical studies. The kind of expertise, special knowledge and skills required to produce captivating, informative, instructive and knowledgeable TV programs can be easily imagined. Designers, developers, script writers, technicians and technologies, artists, musicians, photographic artists, camera person and numerous others specialists involved in TV are valuable resource persons. Then comes your recordings. Recordings here to the recording of audio, video, audiovisual reproductions on a magnetic tape or disc, as well as in the laser tapes. They are all part of the home entertainment environment, which gives consumers direct control over what, where, when they view or listen to them. Among the many recorded media of mass communication are the video cassette, the CD-ROM, the DVDs. They are the most influential one. The production of multimedia CD-ROMs and DVDs is a complex and intricate affair. Screen script writer, design and development experts, production and marketing experts and a host of others are normally involved in the production of audiovisual items. Motion films are an important media of popular entertainment because of their wide mass appeal and influence on the society. Combined with TV, films constitute the most powerful media that impacts every section of the audience in all possible ways. In India, with all its cultural and linguistic diversities and the problems of illiteracy, films are the most powerful of all media. Commercial cinema is all charming and romantic and fanciful. The usual ingredients are songs, group dances, crime, fights, melodrama and comedy and everything. The idea of filmmakers in general is to prepare a show of popular entertainment to ensure financial success and the box office hit. The documentary films have been universally recognized as another category of art films. A number of documentary films have been produced in India by the Film Division of the Government of India on the themes of cultural interest and technical and innovative films on different subjects. Documentary films have been produced on different projects and achievements on the persons of eminence in political, social and cultural fields. Reputed producers and the directors have brought out the documentaries and short films on current issues of public interest, even in areas of controversial nature. Many of these documentaries have been screened at the International Film Festival and have been received well. Internet is a network of networks, especially it is worldwide publicly accessible interconnected networks that transmit data using the standard internet protocol. It consists of millions of smaller domestic, academic, business, mass media and government networks which together carry various information services such as email, online chat, file transfer, interlinked web pages and the documents of World Wide Web. It enables the distance learning through its new pattern of flexibility, contributing to reshaping of the knowledge environment and issues of access within it. Mobile phones, developments in information and communication technology, while creating the digital divide, offer the means of improving the information delivery to a large proportion of illiterate or semi-literate or marginalized communities. Mobile phones are seen to be bridge the digital divide in developed as well as developing countries, as it was quoted by Neelamegham in 2009. Mobile phones or cell phones, long-range electronic devices used for voice or data communication over a network of specialized base stations or cell sites. One of the important components of the mobile phone in today's context is SMS, that is short message services. For text messaging, email, access to the internet and many more. Mobile media experts claim that the mobile phones have several unique benefits that make it a more powerful media than either TV or the internet. Advertising is defined as a paid dissemination of information through a variety of mass communication. Space is bought in the newspaper, magazines and periodicals in the print media. This is not information for communication or information per se, but the process of selling or helping to sell commodities and services or gaining acceptance to ideas that may set people to think or act in a desired manner. The goals of the advertisements are advertised to help their customers to market their product and service. Advertising agents are specialized companies that plan and execute the advertising campaign for most advertisers, and for that you need a lot of media planning and research. Advertising media carrier advertisements to consumers and mass media are dependent on the advertising revenue. Public relation is a deliberate, planned and sustained effort to establish and maintain a mutual understanding between an organization and its public. The organization concerned to understand the public and the relate organization activities to the public interest. Press Information Bureau. The Press Information Bureau have a press releases, the press notes, the feature article, the backgrounders. The feedback cell of the special services has a press clipping unit that caters to the requirements of the various ministries. Some of the university and research libraries stock newspaper files and have selective newspaper clipping service. In fact, in TERI we have a very strong newspaper clipping service for the different types of stakeholders. Larger newspapers have their library and archives which may have their newspaper indexes for internal use. Radio broadcasting, which started in All India Radio as a government agency in 1920 and expanded considerably over the years. 100 private channels have been established by the broadcasting sector. Akashvani has stations throughout the country in the Indian languages, broadcasting news, music and other cultural educational programs. And today, Akashvani News is also available on the internet. Even you can look into it in your mobile phone, download the app and you can watch it also. Same with the Doordarshan. Has 5 national channels, 11 regional language channels and 11 regional language, 24 regional news units are there, contributing significantly in these areas. Being a public service broadcaster, its mandate is to carry through its program messages on population control, family welfare, preservation of environment and ecological balance, highlighting the need for social welfare measures for women, children and others. National Film Archives of India was established in 1964. It is the promotion of scholarship and research on various aspects of cinema and also form of the objectives. Apart from its collection of Indian and foreign films, it has acquired 30,000 film scripts, both India and foreign countries. It has a huge archive library, well-stocked collection of approximately 25,000 books on cinema published across the globe, which is a huge collection. ICT and mass media has played a very, very important role in this context. Research and innovation in information has played a very big role. It has given unlimited scope for expansion in mass media in terms of round the clock. Every component of mass media, the print, the broadcasting, TV and recording is used and is great effect in the advantage. So these in a nutshell, what I want to highlight here, that media plays a very, very important role for the dissemination of the information and knowledge to the mass. So thank you for your patient listening. Thank you very much.